Hello, everybody. Welcome to the morning volatility report. As I am Giovinazzi, Chief Operating Officer of OptionPit.com, welcoming you to said vol report. Also, long gamma trading. Well, handy. We'll talk about long gamma and using the vol products to hedge some of that. Also, ratio spreading with long contracts. Just ways that allow you to buy gamma for the least possible cost. And speaking of that, it's tomorrow's class. And speaking of that, well, that's what we have here. So what do we have? One thing I will say is, let's go just to vol and VIX. So we had I guess one other house wanted, to buy some tech stocks yesterday. So JP Morgan. Somebody called the top in technology stocks, similar to kind of what we had before. And this is something we covered early in the week. We are now looking at the far end of we're looking at VIX down here. And we had mentioned volatility at the money about as low as it probably could go to 6. That would be a 9 VIX. And let's see here, we're 2470 and it's 762. So we've had like about a 1 full point gain in volatility, and we should. Where the market's starting to move a little bit more, and that's basically it. We had it for a very long time. The market wasn't doing much, and now after just kind of keep sliding up to those highs, we have VIX sliding to the upper end of zone 1. And the big question is what are we going to see out of it? The second part is just futures in general are kind of keeping at a relatively healthy price. The August, though, now is near backwardation. The SEP is only, let's say, 1.5 points over. So the market is still looking for the possibility of higher vol, but most of the jump in VIX was caught by the futures. So the big question is whether that remains or not. Now, very soon, our August is going to become flat to the cash, so we're going to look at some strategies today in VIX for August. You're never going to find a cheaper VIX call than you will in August, especially if we go flat and VIX continues to go up. So the term you really want to keep an eye on is not so much the VIX number here, but you want to keep an eye on all the stuff in here. If the market really starts to get worried and this picks up a bid, that's something you want to keep an eye on. We actually looked at buying volatility in our gold class yesterday via straddle on Thursday. Also, too, we'll look at Amazon. It seems like their earnings weren't great. It wasn't enough to crater the stock, but it kind of hasn't really found a bottom yet either. It was trading 175 or 180 or something like that yesterday, and now it's trading 107. So we'll look for some downside trades, but I think this stock, don't count this stock out for moving, and don't count the bulls out for wanting to run it back up again. So that would be something to keep an eye on. So we'll look at that in our chat room as well. Also, we're going to revisit Facebook. Now, Facebook was up a bunch yesterday, and the vol is starting to come in a little bit. It got down to the 20s. We will look at some sort of short iron butterflies again today in Facebook. So, all told, basically, I think we're kind of looking at some things with a possibility of long vol. The last big tech stock to really announce now is Apple, and it looks like the queues have kind of run out of steam. We thought 2,500 was possible on good earnings, but, and with Amazon not participating, Intel's earnings were good, but not enough to really drive them. Microsoft's were okay, but it had already rallied huge. So the tech part is slowing down hugely. Now we're looking for oil companies. The banks already reported decent earnings. So our rally feels like it's stalled a little bit in SPX. So with some tech up and some tech kind of now just sort of stuck, VIX could stay stuck here. And again, we'll look at the trade in there in our chat room today. But Anyway, that's what we've got. And with that, I will see many of you in our chat room this morning.